Hey, I'm back. It's less than 10 seconds. That's what somebody told me, but we're here. This is Stephen Wener of eXp Realty on 1170 AM. And we're back for a final segment. And unfortunately, for me, this went way too fast. We're already...
Let's do it tomorrow again.
Right? We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Right? But what I always like to do in the fourth segment is just, free for all things that after you finish part of your talk, Scott, things that you still want to talk about. And something I wanted to bring up as well was just Cal State Fullerton with the students, because being able to give back to the generations that are going to come back into this workplace, dude, I mean, huge. That's where you really leave your legacy, because you have a direct impact. And whenever you're a coach, a teacher, things like that, with these students that you're spending so much time with, I mean, share those experiences with me, because that's what I want to do, like teach and train the younger generation.
Yeah, Steve, I've helped a number of my students and former students launch companies because I teach marketing for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? They're going to launch, companies. They're going to launch businesses. So, but the first night in my class, I teach them. I say, listen, I am. In fact, there are times when I'll go to before the first day of the semester, I'll go to my mailbox in the marketing department, and there'll be like a couple of checks built up, right? And I'll bring them to class and I'll throw them down. And I'll offer to auction them off. Because being an adjunct professor, it's beer money. It's nothing. And I let them know I'm here for you.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
I'm here for the students because, and then I say, listen, this is, and they get the example, and I say, this is not, I said, how many of you believe in giving back? I mean, you believe in giving back? You believe in giving back? Everybody says, oh, giving back. And I tell them, I say right up front, I don't believe in giving back. They're like, oh, they're horrified, right? I don't believe in giving back. Giving back is just payment. Give first. I tell them, give first. Just give. It's the right thing to do. It doesn't matter what you've gotten or haven't gotten. Give, 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 give. And I mean, but don't give with the expectation of return, even though that's what happens. What did Zig say, right? Zig Ziglar? If you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want.
That's
right. That's what the redhead told him that.
The redhead.
And Erik, I mean, reason I love hanging out with Erik, even personally, just as a friend, he's a giver. He gives and he gives and he gives, and he doesn't say, "Well, what are you going to give me in return?" Or what? And I've been around people like that, where you can tell they've always got the accounting book in the back of their head. Okay, I've given this to you. What are you giving to me?
The invisible
kind of thing.
Invoice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he even bought me lunch. Actually, the last time we were
Erik
out.
did.
I always buy.
He was late.
I always buy.
He bought it because he was late for our meeting. But he bought lunch. He was a giver.
He bought me about
and I took
20 pounds of sushi one night.
Really?
That was hilarious. Japan called, and they're like, "Stop ordering.
We're closed."
Yeah, we'll give you the Fukushima fish.
What do you want?
So,
what do you want for dessert? More sushi.
Exactly. Well, that's awesome. And we typically have a quiet observer in here, Paul. But Paul, this is right up your alley with all this stuff, man. And
Paul, stop being so quiet.
Right, with your buddy Roberto. But what's going through your head listening to these two gentlemen being so awesome and charging more prices? Being around that type of mindset, and you're always working on your own self-development, right?
Yeah, and part of it too is I feel like my job here is to help facilitate, and it sounds like that's part of what made that dinner kind of a magical experience. I enjoy more of that role of facilitating, but yeah, I'm an obsessive learner. I mean, I'm always reading 4 or 5 different books.
Yeah.
I spend an obscene amount of money on coaching and training every year, probably $50,000 a year. Been doing that since 2002 or 3.
Yeah.
So I've gone to a few things, and a big variety. But I just love the common themes, and I can just tell you guys are both very genuine and the heart and the giving aspect of it, because I think there are different ways of reaching success, and that scarcity mindset, it leaves a lot of other people out. And I just feel grateful because I think, man, if I could do this, other people could. Other people could have a successful business.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud. Like I just came from the office of one of my former assistants. Guy makes over $300,000 a year. He's been doing it for 15 years now. And I actually fired him because he was too good. I said, hey, you can't work for me anymore.
Wow.
You got to get licensed and have your own business. You're too good.
That's amazing.
Your skill, your capacity, the level that you could go to is going to be limited. And I've got about 18 people that used to work for me that all have really successful businesses that all make 6 figures. And that's really my proudest accomplishment in the business. I love helping families and really the partnerships is what I enjoy the most in our business. But it's cool to see. There's just so many. There's so much good stuff out there. I think it's really just saying, I'm going to tap into it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be committed to it. I'm going to put it into play every day. And so that's what it is. It's just like putting the ball in motion. That's where most people are stuck. Mm-hmm. It's not that it's not out there.
One of my favorite movies is a Bill Murray movie, What About Bob? Baby steps into the elevator.
I love that movie.
I love that movie so much.
I've seen it 100 times.
I'm sailing. I'm a sailor.
Will someone just knock me out
Oh, man.
in the bus?
Yeah. I love
Will you
that
please
movie.
knock me out?
Right?
Okay, Eric, we need to talk.
Puppets. The puppets. I love the puppets. They come-
I just met up with Richard Dreyfuss last week. He was in that movie, right? That's What About Bob?
Oh,
Wasn't he? Wasn't he?
He lives here
was
in,
the guy.
in
Yeah, he's up the street.
Livenhain, yeah. So he actually, I just
He wrote
one of
Baby
my
Steps.
clients is closing this week on a
right.
property just down the street from him.
Yeah,
So yeah, he's a San Diego native guy, but
That's
I
right.
love Richard Dreyfuss. That movie is just so relevant on so many levels.
it's amazing.
Yeah, I love just babies.
You know what's fun to do?
The elevator.
What's really fun to do is on Groundhog Day, you
Yeah.
watch What About Bob over and over and over again. That's the fun thing to do.
That sounds a little
I've done that
obsessive.
before.
I bet you have.
I think
Yes.
this feels very similar to it.
Right? To this room with carpet.
Have you ever had Vuja Day?
Yes, I have had deja vu.
No, Vuja Day.
No, I haven't had that one.
Like
That's backwards.
this has not happened ever. That's what Vuja Day is.
That actually is a technical term.
Yeah.
If you look
For
it up,
real?
that actually is a term.
I don't know. I made it up like
Yeah.
years ago, but maybe it's back in the dictionary
This
now.
is,
Well,
this
you
is
know-
some of the university stats, right? This is what you got
Yeah,
at Cal
exactly.
State.
Well, you know what's fun is that this interaction, this banter, this just enjoyment we're having. Anyone who is listening to this, who's in business, who's in sales, and we're all in sales, right? I mean, we're all getting people to buy our opinion or a product, service, whatever it happens to be. You know, get your kid to take out the trash. That's a sale, right?
Yeah.
But humor.
Oh,
Humor
yeah.
greases the skids,
Yeah, it does.
and humor will elevate the WTP, willingness to pay, on the part of your customer. It'll elevate their willingness to whatever that payment happens to be, giving up their time, giving up money, etc. And you can memorize lots of lines. I mean, Eric and I, I mean, just as old, and you guys just as old. I shouldn't say old, as experienced, as seasoned sales
Sure,
professionals.
sure.
We've learned all these overcoming objections, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to be fun. I remember the story. A friend of mine named Marty. He was up in Salt Lake City, and he was closing a deal, and the guy was ready to sign. I mean, his pen was just hovering over the paper. And Marty sees the guy pull back, and he goes, I got to pray about this. And Marty just sees this sale evaporating, right? So he grabs the guy's hand, and he goes, let's pray. He bowed his head. He came up and he said, he told me yes. What did he tell you? Dead serious. And the guy laughed, and Marty had built such good rapport with him that the guy goes, you're right. This is a good deal. And he signed the deal that day. You got to stay flexible, and you got to stay fun.
Man, that's so amazing. I was actually just thinking of Bruce Lee's adage, not today, but I'm always trying to self-reflect on this stuff, just how he's water, right? And you just be who you need to be in that moment to adapt to whatever setting you're in. And when you can be fluid, just as you expressed, as opposed to, oh, no, it's going,
Right.
I mean, that's it. And this is actually a sales call. Like, this is what a normal relationship is supposed to sound like.
So go to
in this setting.
chargehigherprices.com
Yes.
and call
And I'll sell you this
949-650-0006.
But really, this is what it sounds like. This is how it's supposed to sound.
Right. A
Regular,
conversation.
normal,
Yeah.
humanized banter.
That's true.
With the professional content involved as well. Moving through an experience where everybody feels comfortable in that setting, and then you feel like that person is going to hear you, understand you, take care
Right.
of you. And then where are the objections? There are no. What are you going to object to now? I just don't want to do it. Well, yeah, you do, and you need it. That's really that really is it in a
So
nutshell.
sign here.
Right, but it's that's the funny thing, and so many people try to sell, and it's not selling. All we do is solve problems. Like even this, how do we get through these segments? Right, each segment that we get to, how do we get through to beginning, middle, and end, and make a point? And you just do this through regular questions, just listening, having great banter, putting in some humor in it so we can actually enjoy ourselves. And when we all finish this, we take pictures, we wrap it up, we share information, future developments start as a result, and then who knows what happens.
You take us out for sushi for being on your show.
Yeah, right? Something like that. And maybe the station will. I'll see. Or Erik, you're so gracious, right? And again, before we have to go and finish this particular show up for the week, I'd love for you guys again just to share how people can reach you, because some other people might have been just tuning in right now. And I think understanding how to charge higher pricing and understanding how to turn habits and attitude into future successes for people are paramount. So please, how can everybody reach you before we have to go and everybody misses us?
AwesomeSwanson.com.
Okay.
That's it. Pretty
And
simple.
for you again?
ChargeHigherPrices.com, or they can call 949-650-0006.
And I wanted to take as much time and talk with you guys about this. In the last couple of minutes, I just wanted to talk to Paul about the state of the real estate market for a moment. So this is like the first time that we
Wait, is this a real estate show?
Yes.
Holy cow.
With a fragment of real estate, right? But the market's been changing in the past month or two, and it's really sort of materialized as to things are taking a little bit longer to sell. There are some price reductions, which I'm seeing, but we've been so under market for inventory levels forever, for over 5 years.
Yeah.
We're still at under 3 months of inventory. A healthy market is 5 to 6, oversaturated is 7 to 8. So we're still under market. So don't think that the world is dropping, because it isn't. But things are leveling out a little bit. And the market just means that buyers have more opportunity to view property. Sellers, you just have to be smarter about your tactics now and don't think anyone's just going to buy whatever you put out there. So I wanted to share that with you. Not a skies dropping scenario, but it is more of a level playing field or getting there. And just on the mortgage front, I know the bond rates have gone up a little bit and rates are a little bit higher, but nothing crazy. So whatever you can share before we end this lovely show.
Yeah, rates have been a little elevated over the last month, but we're still real close to 50-year lows.
Yeah.
And really the cool part is I'm seeing a lot more favorable contracts come in for our clients where
exactly.
they're getting cost paid, they're getting friendlier terms, and we've been in such a extreme market on the other end. It's almost like we're still in an abnormal seller's market.
Yes.
But people are like, "Oh my gosh, like they actually let me do something."
Right.
And but we are seeing a lot better contracts come through.
Yeah.
And there's, a couple houses to look at instead of one or zero.
Or none, yeah.
Yeah, it's been really nice for the buyers, but yeah, the media will take and spend, they're trying to get clicks or eyeballs, so they're always hitting the fear, like you said. That fear is such a common thing, and they will take like one piece of data. I saw this CNBC article the other day, and it was like, oh, well, their sales are down, crashing in Southern California, and it was like, way down at the bottom, 45% less homes built in the last year. And you're like, oh, that might affect the overall sales a little bit, but, the headline's crashing. But
Yeah, you got to love one-word perceptions and then explode on that.
How to lie with statistics.
Exactly. Well, this for me was a great show, so thank all of you for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. You are awesome.
Thank you. I'm not taking Erik's name. I'm Stephen Wener of eXp Realty on 1170 AM, The Answer.